Bonjour à toutes et à tous et bienvenue sur l'œil d'Ophidia. Hello and welcome to l'œil d'Ophidia. Look at us. We're James White again for the third time. Thank you so much, James. Hi.
Hello, everybody. Hey, fantastic to be back on your show. Always a great pleasure to catch up and connect with the European fans, especially. So yeah, thank you for inviting me back for number three.
Yeah, number three. It's amazing. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk. We know it's probably a busy period for you. What's the holidays are coming up, but what's at what phase are you at LSS right now? Are you working a lot? Are you taking some time to reflect on what happened on the last year and the first year of OP? What's going on right now?
To be honest, since we got back from the World Champs, it's just been non-stop. Just been a lot of very late nights, not very much sleep, and just trying to close the year off strong, to set us up to be in a great place to hit the ground running in 2023. Everyone is aware that we published the big OP announcement today to provide a little bit of insight into what to expect next year. But yeah, we've got one more week left with the studio open, and then we do shut down for a few weeks so that the team can get away and enjoy the summer and recharge the batteries and look forward to a big year next year.
Enjoy Christmas as well, I hope.
Absolutely. And in New Zealand, of course, our Christmas is at the beach and the barbecue, wearing shorts and sandals. It's summer down here, so yeah, it's a little bit different than up in the northern hemisphere. But I must
Yeah,
say
right.
that I have been lucky enough to experience one white Christmas in London one year, and it's not quite the same when you're celebrating Christmas. At the beach, I really do feel like a white Christmas in the snow is what real Christmas feels like, to be
It's
honest.
different. So
Yeah.
you just talk about making this big announcement about organized play next year. In this announcement, you are saying that there will be more battle hardened and calling, so local tournaments. We already know that there will be one in the USA, one in Europe, and one in New Zealand at the start of the year.
Mm.
How often do you plan to have callings, and do you think that each time you will try to have one at the same time in each continent?
Um, Not necessarily. The callings will just be spread out throughout the year as they make sense and where good venues become available. So, like our OP team is working on that schedule, like right now, and as I said in the article, we'll be starting to publish that forward-looking schedule like pretty quickly as we move through Q1. So you'll get good visibility, right through to the end of the year, in pretty short order.
Perfect. And concerning the battle harden, do you know how often you want them to happen and what the target frequency of them, like the
Yeah,
attendance
so we're
as well?
Yeah, so look, we're really excited by the Battle Hardened program, and it's proven to be a great success throughout 2022. We did run 30 across the world this year, and we're aiming to deploy 50 across the world in 2023. And look, a lot of these Battle Hardened events, they're having attendance around the 100 player mark. There's been some, I think, around the 150 in different parts of the US. And I think some of the smaller ones maybe have been sitting around sort of 60, but look, all across the world, the player base is growing as well. So, we would really like to see, um, battle hardens nearly every single week when we have a frequency of 50 throughout the year.
I have read an amazing article regarding the Deloitte Fast 50 index, where we learned that you became number one in New Zealand in terms of fastest growing company. So congratulations,
Hmm. Thank you.
6,500%. It's huge. I'm pretty sure you're really happy about that. But my question is more about an entrepreneur story that I feel very inspiring. During the COVID, you didn't sell your soul to the devil and you keep your purpose true, that you didn't go online. And I'm pretty sure most of the entrepreneurs would have done that. Instead, you send a lot of beginners kits to the US. Can you talk to us about that and explain how the idea came up and why you didn't go to online gaming at that period?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, we had to pivot very, very quickly because all of our marketing and messaging around that time was, to play in person and get down to your local game store and, get to the big events. And, we'd already run three callings at that stage. They were small by today's standards, but like our whole vision and plan was to be running, regular callings across the world and to have, large, gatherings and congregations of people coming together to play great games. And, that's pretty much what we've done in 2022 is what we were planning to do in 2020. So obviously the pandemic made that not possible, and we just had to innovate and to evolve and adapt to the situation. And I mean, I think in times like this, you can just look at your own life and just see, well, actually, what am I experiencing as a human being in this moment? And it's like, well, I'm in isolation. We can't get out of the house. We need things to do. Like, how much Netflix or whatever can one person watch? For what it's worth, I don't watch any, but I look at my family and sort of observe their sorts of behaviors, and I just think that there was a real need at that point in time for interesting and new things for people to do while they were stuck at home in lockdown. So that was sort of like the logic behind it is how can we get this message out to people that there's this new game, Flesh and Blood, and it's a great game, and you're stuck in lockdown with like a lot of time on your hands, so how about give it a try? And at that time I'd been talking to Rudy from Alpha Investments for a while, and um, sort of like the timing came together well for us to partner on that rollout of the play at home kits or the welcome kits. And so I'm always I think I've told the story quite a few times, but I'm always very grateful that he sort of believed in the game at that point in time, because we were still very, very small and not many people had heard of us. And like he really got behind it and championed the game and presented it to his fan base and his audience, and helped us put together the logistics behind it and that kit. And it shipped out to about 3,500 of his Patreons. And that was sort of like a real critical moment for us. And the people who got those kits opened them up and played the game, and a lot of people really enjoyed Flesh and Blood, and they told their friends, and it kind of just started to snowball from there. And then sort of like through that COVID period, like a lot of people got introduced to what Flesh and Blood is, so that when people started having freedoms and liberties again to get out of the house and go and connect with their local community, there was like a really sort of well developed fan base around the world, particularly across the United States, so that when we started to do in-person events again, like the world premiere that we did in Las Vegas being the first one, like 1,000 people turned out. I think there was 850 players played in the world premiere, and about the same amount in the calling that was on on over that weekend, plus just lots of fans coming to hang out. So yeah, that's kind of the story and how that came about. But when you're faced with great adversity, you got to just try and get smart. Just try and seek solutions.
Yeah,
And just never stop fighting, don't give up, and don't sell
transforming
your soul, like you say.
yeah, transforming a threat into an opportunity. That's very inspiring.
Does it cement your decision making when you win a prize like that? You're like, okay, we won this, so it means we work, so we're gonna keep working this way. Or does it push you to find other solutions and to try harder to push yourselves to do even better?
I mean, look, I always measure success against sort of my own personal standard. I don't like sort of comparing our performance against other people so much. As for me, the metric is, are we better than we were yesterday? Is OP in 2023 going to be better than OP in 2022? Are our future products better than our past products? That's the measure that I like to um, to reflect on, is just self improvement, and just trying to get better 1% every day or whatever. If you can get better 1% every day, you get really good really, really fast for what it's worth. But yeah, look, winning the award for me it meant a lot, because first of all, it's an award that I've been following closely for 2 decades, and I have tried in the past to actually have entered this awards and tried to get into the top 50, and have failed on multiple occasions to even make it the 50th. One year in particular was heartbreaking, because I really thought we would make the top 50, and we missed out on 50th place by 1%.
Oh.
So like there's, but again, you can't give up when you interest. You want to achieve something. You just got to keep trying again and again and again until you actually make it happen. But for me, the thing that was important and meaningful about this event is validation, because I feel like the trading card game industry particularly, but even gaming more broadly, has sort of been this thing on the fringes of society, and particular trading card games is like kind of like, I guess, looked down upon a lot of times as not being, a real business or whatever. Like you wouldn't believe how many times people ask me sort of like, what is my real job? And throughout my career, just whether it's friends or family or associates or just colleagues or people that I know who just kind of don't really respect what I do or what, people in the gaming industry and trading card game industry and our general culture, like they don't really get it, they don't respect it. And I feel like throughout my entire life, or certainly professional career, I've really been a champion for our industry and trying to bring awareness and respect to the trading card game industry as both a business and as a fantastic endeavor and hobby to be involved with. So for me, it was about validation, and it was about actually showing to the business community in New Zealand, at least, that trading card games are something significant that should be treasured, it should be respected, it should be appreciated, and being able to receive that award, alongside the great New Zealand technology companies and science companies and biotech companies, and to actually come out on top as number one, and not just number one, but to set an all-time index record, was it meant a lot.
Oh yeah, I guess it does. Yeah. Talking about getting better every day. In our last interview, a lot of the time we talked together with Chris Pierce too, was devoted to the localization issues, and you addressed that right away. But we haven't really seen the next step in the process of translating the whole game for the people in Spain, in Germany, in France, and in Italy too. So are you satisfied with where you are right now with History Pack 2, and when can we see it? When can we play with the whole localized deck?
Yeah, that's a great question, and like there's sort of like two parts to the answer here. One is, um, look, organizational capability is a really important and significantly difficult thing to actually achieve, right? Like Legends Ratios has grown really quickly, and the size of what this business has grown really quickly, and there's only so much that any one person can ever do. So you have to create a team and build a team of exceptional people, and we've been doing that particularly over this year. We've got a lot of great people in the company, and we've been welcoming lots of fantastic new talent to join us, and lots of different functions of the business. And sort of one of those areas is the localization and the translators that we're working with. And sort of like when we did 1HP, we've talked about this before. It was well below the standard that we would expect of a Flesh and Blood product, and that was kind of because we had partnered with an external agency who just didn't really understand the culture of fantasy gaming. So it came through like very robotic, and it lost a lot of that flavor and that character and soul. And since that, we've started working with industry experts and people who actually understand the subject matter well. And we've been sort of building out that capability within our organization to be able to localize, the back catalog and the future products to a much higher standard. So we do have two new localized products coming through for the European fans. I think it's in February. I believe it's in February, mid February. So that's going to include a range of pre-constructed blitz decks to complement History Pack 1. And well, look, we've heard the feedback from the fans and from the stores, especially across Europe, that it's really hard for a new player who doesn't speak English to actually start playing Flesh and Blood at the moment, because your only option is like you buy a booster box of History Pack 1, but then you have to like make a deck, you have to understand how the game works, and there's just too much messing around to actually play your first game of Flesh and Blood in one of these European languages. So like absolutely the missing component was having a play out of the box deck in the European languages. So that is coming in February. And then we hope that that will help to welcome on the next wave of European fans. In addition to that, we do have History Pack 2 for the European languages. Again, I will reiterate, this is not available in English. It is only a European language product for History Pack 2. I believe that's also coming out around February as well. We will be making announcements about exact timing on this in the near future. Probably when we come back on that first week of January, we'll be making specific announcements about launch plans for those two items. But as we move forward in time, like our real goal at the moment is to get synchronized release dates for English and the European local languages. It may happen for outsiders. I can't promise that yet, but there is a chance. There is a chance that we have simultaneous releases. If not, it'll be very soon after the English release. But certainly, as we move through 2023 to our second and third booster sets of the year, like we are very confident that we'll be able to have simultaneous English and localized release dates.
This is huge, James. This is amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, the
Yeah.
French community is gonna be going insane about it. It's amazing.
Yeah. Just
Um,
maybe one last thing on that. Like, I, I, I am confident the translation quality for 2HP and the Blitz decks is much, much better than it was for the History Pack 1. But we have made additional improvements even since those products went into publication. So it is a huge amount better, but we still have polishing that
Yeah,
is
it's still a
happening
process.
as we as we
Yeah.
as we move forward as well.
Okay.
okay. It's been 2 years. I discovered the game, and I have been amazed how you took every good practices from MTG and how you left aside all the bad things about it. And I was especially impressed by the drafting experience in Flesh and Blood. With 4 hero, it makes sense. With 3 heroes, it doesn't make sense. But still, with 8 people, but still it worked. During Tales of Aria, it was amazing. But then Uprising arrived. And then I feel, and we are a lot of people feeling that it didn't work anymore. It's been, I don't know, 1,000 years that we have to draft in Uprising. No more new sets, no more playable sets.
Yeah.
Can you? Was it on purpose, or is there any issue about that? What happened exactly? Can you explain?
Um, yeah, I mean, I totally agree that the Uprising Limited season was way too long, for sure. So it's look, our goal is to move our release schedule to the point where we are releasing 3 draftable sets per year. It's not going to happen in 2023, but that's our goal for 2024. And so then, as you saw in the article today, we're looking at the year as um, three major seasons aligned with the 3 major booster sets of the year. So we want to get to the point where each of those seasons is supported by a draftable product. Look, we could talk a lot about the 3 hero versus 4 hero configuration. I think it's a topic that we can come back to for another session. But there's a lot to it. There's a lot behind the reasoning and the maths for why I actually strongly prefer the 3 class draft products, and I will explain it in detail at another time.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. So the next set will be Outsiders. And we have seen a crazy illustration of a new hero. And
Insane.
people are having a lot of speculation about this one, especially that it's kind of looking mechanologist in the picture. By the past, you already hint that maybe mech is like not the same as the other class. Maybe this is like kind of a talent or something like that. Will we see like a mech warrior or something like that in Outsiders?
Well, I can't spill the beans that easily, and really, I highly respect just the way that you just like smoothly trying to slip in this question to extract some information. But yeah, look, you're gonna have to wait and see to find that out. But what I can say, I know every time I come on your show, you're like, I gotta tell you some secret news, right? So,
Yeah.
look, Outsiders, we are going back to the pits. And look, I have said, or I've hinted and suggested that, we are committed to making Azalea good, or giving her support. And I've said a few times that it's a two-step process. We have Dynasty, which is released the aim counter mechanics, and that's sort of like step one of giving Azalea some new tools and some new sort of like juicing her up a bit. And so the next step is going back to her home region, and sort of like completing that process of the two phase introduction of some more support around this aim counter mechanic. So your sand scour great bows, get them now. I'm telling you, this card is going to be good, and Azalea's going to like this. And there's a lot of things that are coming through with in that aim counter design space, and she is one of the important heroes of Outsiders. And as we mentioned on that reveal earlier in the week about Outsiders, it does include a mix of fan favorite familiar faces and some new faces coming through. So I can confirm that Azalea is one of the fan favorites that you will be seeing coming back in Outsiders. But is she the only one, though? That's the question that you need to ask. Is she the only one?
Maybe a Starvo return. I don't want to force you to spill the beans, but a lot of people, including me, because last time we talked about it in Lille for the Q&A, you basically hinted that maybe we'd go back to Shadows and Light in the next set, so you don't have to talk about it if you can't talk about it because you want to reveal at the right time. But is there gonna be some support for heroes like that have been basically forgotten, like Boltin or Levia, because the two other guys, Prism and Chain, are living legends now, and these guys from Monarch that have been a bit on the downside, and they're not really competitive right now. So is that something that we're gonna come back to, Shadows and Light, pretty soon? Is that in Outsiders? Is that later? Do you want to talk about it another time in another interview? What's the deal?
Yeah, so look, I can tell you that the Shadow and Light thing is its own product. It's not part of Outsiders. Outsiders is really exploring the pits.
Okay.
And yeah, all of the
pits and the
skullduggery and backstabbing that goes on down there. So it's really a set focused on the pits. But I've said it at the Q&A in Lille and again in San Jose, that we are going to be bringing back a Light Illusionist and a Shadow Runeblade next year. That's happening. It's in production, so you have that to look forward to. And I just put out, look, just like we never forgot about Azalea, we care about all of these heroes, especially the ones which are in the classic constructed format. Like, they're always in our mind. We're always reviewing and looking at the journey of these heroes through the Living Legend leaderboard, and we do want to add depth to these heroes. It's not just about making new heroes all the time to expand the roster sideways. We want to build depth into those heroes and continue their stories as well. So, like, sooner or later, you will be getting support for the Super Bolton fans around the world. And yeah, hopefully your Spirit of Arena is a signal that Bolton is firmly in our minds.
I'm so excited about
always
this card.
In our heart,
I have to tell you, yeah.
Always in our heart.
Yeah, it's an amazing card. I have to tell you, it moved me to tears when I saw it. So we're coming on to the 30 minutes mark, and that's what the timing we discussed about this interview. So we're gonna close things in like 2 short questions. Last but not least, it's a question from our community. We always try to ask a question from our community. So this one was asked by 2 of our friends, Marcel and Jeep. One of them is a content creator, and the other one is a great player, and they've been going insane about the game since the beginning, so they're really pillars of the community. And their question is, who are the heroes on the shitty Christmas present promo? We basically know at least 2 of them, but we're not sure about the other ones, so can you confirm who's on it and who's not on it?
Yeah, so we have obviously Azalea holding up the socks, and there
Yeah.
is Arachne like swinging towards the window, and I'm pretty sure that Dash is in the top left corner holding the cracked bauble like the bauble from her hero art, and then the fourth one is Lena Bell, who is part of the lore and the story. She's one of Azalea's friends from the pits,
Oh,
but she doesn't feature on any cards yet.
yeah.
Yet.
Okay.
Okay. You know that we are going to celebrate tomorrow night the 1,000 mark on the French Discord. It's going to be a huge party. It's sold out. Some people are really disappointed that they are not able to come, but for security reason, the venue is not able to welcome everyone. But could you say a few words to the French community as a conclusion of the interview in French?
Absolutely. Look,
In French, obviously.
we're gonna have to spend some more time with you, Pedro. We have to, have a few more wines, mate, to get me ready for that one. But look, just first of all, thank you to yourselves for organizing this event to celebrate this significant milestone of reaching the 1,000 French community members. And look, I really hope that you guys have an incredibly fun event. And I wish I could be there. I really do. I had so much fun in France, man. I love France so much, and the cheese and the food and the people and the fashion and the style and the architecture, and I love it there so much. I really look forward to coming back next year. I really do hope. But look, just it makes me so happy to see Flesh and Blood growing and becoming such a loved game all around the world, and to see the French community reach that 1,000 player milestone is just incredible. And to see that occasion celebrated tomorrow night, it's going to be awesome. Please do send me some photos, and I just really hope that you have a great time. And thank you all for your support and passion and belief in this game.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, James. So we know you're busy, so I will let you go now, and we'll stop asking questions about spoilers for the next set. Thank you again so much for your time, and I think we'll see you soon. Hopefully next year in France.
You will. Absolutely. I look forward to coming back. I'm sorry I couldn't to stay with you longer today and receive more questions, but I will come back for the fourth interview in the new year, I promise.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.